Monday, June 10th, Stan Ehrlich, market analysis. Before I go any further, today's the last day for about a week. I'll be incognito until Tuesday, the 17th, I believe, 18th of next week. And then I'll start up on Wednesday, morning, June 19th, will be the next YouTube recording. So I'm out for about a week. Now, we had some significant major reversals on Friday. We saw some follow through earlier, and now we're in a little bit of a rally, which does not cancel out the reversals on Friday, which so far are the high of the move, high of the market, historic highs in some cases. We'll get to the details. The ES, daily data chart, the E-mini, is up about 5 points at the moment. Very mild, minor amount. No big deal. Near its highs. The 1 minute chart shows you that since the close of Friday, it opened sideways, dropped off quite a bit. Profit potential on anything that you got short on Sunday afternoon. But then we've got a little rally that looks like it may have just finished and is now starting to move its way down. We have new lows for a short while. 45 minutes or something like that, half an hour. And this is a 1 minute chart. I'd love to see this make new lows for the day. I need it to close below Friday's lows, and then I expect that it will be on its way down for a rather substantial major move down. The spider also had a bearish engulfing on Friday. Remember, they are not always identical signals because the spider is only open from 6:30 till 1 o'clock California time, and the E-mini is open 23 hours a day except on the weekends. So this rally is not unexpected. Remember, I want to get back into approximately the middle of the range of the signal day within a few days, and today did it. So here, let's just see it go straight down from here. Next, the spider 1 minute, fine, not a problem. Looking for it to turn down for the beginning of a rather substantial move, which I think is going to challenge the lows that were made a couple of weeks ago. And if that's true, then you have a double top in some cases for a significantly larger decline. This should happen in the next week while I'm not able to do my YouTube. Next, we've got the QQQs. Sell signal on top Friday so far. Rally up a little on the day, not doing any damage. Typical situation. Just please turn down so that the signal turns out to be correct. They don't always work as well as they do sometimes. They are the highest high and lowest low for weeks and weeks to come. In fact, October 16th of 22 was the low for this bull market, the beginning of it, and the bottom of a previous bear market that lasted about a year, a little bit less. And that was a bullish engulfing. The hugely important October low a couple of years ago. Next, QQQ 1 minute data. We did slip off a little below Friday's low. Came back up again. Still looking for it to turn back down. Don't see anything wrong with the way it's acting. I do want to point out that during the day, after my commentary on Friday, which was basically bearish, but I had to put some bullish commentary in there, which didn't happen, didn't want it to happen, said so. I got what I wanted by the end of the day, but I finished making my YouTube somewhere around here when the market was close to or in the process of making the high of the day on Friday. So it finished with a head and shoulder top that a minimum downside objective that got filled in 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, it got down to as far as it was supposed to, given the pattern and then it went down, looks like 300% of its minimum objective, which was around 463 for the QQQ. It just was great little, very little, small formation, but that's a head and shoulder. I've seen thousands and thousands of these, some of them even smaller than this. And this one took took about an hour. Yeah, about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. But wow, it could have been, should have been, I think it was the formation that got started with the bearish engulfing, which got started with we don't know yet because it's only been one day. So I need it to break down more. NASDAQ, June futures contract, daily data chart, bearish engulfing Friday. Rally today, don't do any, it's not doing any damage. It just allowed us to get into ER3 shorts for both scalps and overnights. And we'll see how this pans out. Unfortunately, I will not be able to watch. I'll be out of town. NASDAQ 1 minute. Here we do have an ER3 scalp entry. It made very little money, but some money this morning already from actually the afternoon yesterday, 3 o'clock, when it opened California time until, a few hours later, and got out with a small profit. The overnight version has a loss at this moment, but we might have started something on the downside. It's just popped back up a little bit at the moment, but you can see the red plot. It's called the trade line from the entry price, which is right after the opening yesterday, Sunday afternoon, until current ticks. The stop is up here at this point. You can change it, drop it down some if you wish. This is the default numbers. This little line down here was the default stop for the scalp. Moves a lot faster, as you can see. Going to the Dow Jones futures. My signal, the ER signals, has a sell signal on the top, April 1st, has a buy signal on the bottom, April 19th, has a sell signal on the second high of a double top, May 20th. What can I say? Now we've got a start of the sell signal, but it didn't pan out quite correctly on Friday. So we don't have one on the Dow futures. One major reason is we don't have overbought conditions, so we're not going to get a sell signal, point blank. Next, on the Dow 1 minute, just, moving along, had some signals during the day on Friday. There was a legitimate signal for, looks like a couple of hours, and by the time the market closed, it dropped down below the previous day's close, so this signal didn't work out on a closing basis, but it was legitimate for a little bit of time during the day. That's why automated trading systems can take advantage of these things. Next, Russell, not the same situation at all. Giant 2-year trading range. Every time it's gotten in the last 2 years up into this red zone, we have stalled out and topped out. It did it again. May 16th or 15th, yep, was the top, overbought, resistance. Today we have a new low since then. The 1 minute chart, and this is a 5 minute on the Russell, shows you the new lows for the last couple of weeks and a little bit of a bounce. Let's go to bonds. Wow, what a great sell signal on Friday. And we are almost low and last down over a half a point, working perfectly. ER1 overnight's doing very, very well. ER1 scalp did very, very well. Notes, same comments. Big sell signal on Friday, and it's working very nicely, giving me some fuel to keep talking about the other indexes. Don't like these charts going down. It means rates will be more stable, if not have a tendency to go up, which I doubt is going to happen officially, prime rate. But lower levels on this imply short-term day-to-day stuff, bank-to-bank, is increasing a little tiny bit. And again, markets normally don't like that. So I'm liking the sell signals in bonds and 10-year notes. Let's see how low they can go. And I do think it's going to challenge the lows a couple of weeks ago, and maybe a bit lower than that for both bonds and 10-year notes. We've got crude. Very strong rally today. Overcame overhead resistance, which stopped it on Friday. I think we're going to be able to get up to 78.94 and maybe 81. Did I say? Yeah, 79 and a quarter and maybe 81 and a quarter. And if we can do that fairly quickly, we can get overbought and then maybe turn down. Natural gas, getting close to overbought, getting close to maybe a double top. That looks plausible. Last signal was a red sell signal, May 29th, worked for a couple of days very nicely. Didn't quite get to support. This could be a situation where maybe a longer-term situation is changing. A longer-term trend could be shifting. We had minor new lows for a couple of weeks, for a month plus. They didn't go anywhere. Developed a support range. We had a rally. Pretty good rally. Didn't quite get as high as I would have thought. But on the downside, it held, and now we're coming close to another new high. Again, higher highs and lower lows over time periods, and that is an ambiguous statement. What time? Usually weeks, if not months, will change the intermediate to longer term trend. So that's what we may be trying to do here. So keep an eye from a longer term basis out on natural gas. You know, you basically want to trade with the trend. The trend is your friend. We all know that. So if you get buy signals in an uptrend, you might consider trusting it a hair more, and vice versa. Next chart, heating oil. Came down into hugely support range of support, way big. I probably will find more accurate layers of support in this big range. For now, it was oversold, topped out at the top of the range, and is now back up to a little resistance. May we have a little bit more of a rally. At best, I'm thinking 2.5. Next, gold. Bearish engulfing on Friday, but not overbought, so no sell signal. On the other hand, the dominant pattern here is a double top formation, and we are teasing for the second day with a major downside breakout, but it held. We're now about high and last and up on the day slightly. So support is actually holding fairly well momentarily. I do think it's going to get broken. I do think we're going to close below today's low and Friday's low, and that will be the beginning of a move down to approximately 2144, another support area. And on the way down, we will be getting oversold once or twice or more. So I'm looking for bounces on the way down. So I'm bearish, but I want to get a confirmation for a breakout, and I'd love to get some sort of sell signal over and above Friday's big bearish engulfing, but it wasn't an ER because it didn't get overbought. Next, silver. Oh, and gold, one other comment. Although I haven't had some signals for quite a while in gold, since the beginning of the year, to be honest with you, but look at those last few years, and I'm going to shrink this a little bit. Sell signal on top, on top, on top. Buy signal on the bottom, on the top. Minor low, not that big a deal. Minor low, not that big a deal. Major bottom, major top, pretty good top. Small, not that big a deal. And some other ones I'm not going to go into. Gold has been great in the last couple of years for us. Unbelievably great. We're just not getting signals lately. Maybe we'll start getting a lot again. Silver. On top, sell signal. Get rid of that little marker I was playing with a while ago. On a minor high. And for silver, also, not lately, sell signals or buys. But support. Trend is obviously up lately. And for quite a while. And looking for, and this goes back about 1,000 days, 3 years, give or take. And support held right about where it should have this morning and Friday, and we're now high and last. So we could start to go up again here. Platinum, major sell signal on top, has been working fantastically Friday, we made by a long shot another new low since the sell signal. And now we're hovering around Friday's lows, fiddling around, small doji, small range, not doing much. Next, copper. No signals for a little bit. Last one worked okay for a few days. Not quite oversold. I think it's going to come down to the support level to 4.38 and maybe a little lower, 4.28. We'll see what's going to happen here. Next, copper and then soybeans. Doji inside day, rallying a little, was oversold in a support area. Looks like we're going to start a rally, but I really don't want that yet. My minimum downside objective is 1151 3/4 off of a modest double top formation. But the major pattern is an effort to bottom out. We got the bottom of the market in both corn, wheat, meal, and beans. The only one we missed was bean oil, but it's trying to develop a gigantic 2-year head and shoulder bottom. 2 reasons I don't like it. I've been saying almost every day now for a couple of months. It's a head and shoulder bottom at the end of a big sideways price range, and they're usually at the bottom of a bear market. Wrong place for this to develop. Secondly, it's 2 years in size. Head and shoulders are typically a month or two to be small, a couple of months to 6 months to be medium sized, and maybe up to a year to be on the larger size, in my opinion. This is 2 years in size, highly unusual, therefore less likely to work. And if it does work, holy moly, the minimum upside objective, I believe, is 93. I'm very skeptical about this, but so far, so good. Nothing's wrong with it. We just have to start rallying. We've been challenging the last few days the low of the last shoulder, which is still intact. But today, not anything particularly important going on. What do we got next? We got the corn, bought the bottom, February 26th, starting to move back up after being oversold, looking for a test of recent highs and breaking those, then getting up to $5. I think we had a turning point a couple of days ago. And wheat got the bottom to the exact day of the signal, March 11. Now we're quite oversold at 15. We did break below support levels, but there are others like this one here at 593 that might get tested. That looks pretty important. And then turn back up again. I'm going to have to do this for you real quick. I'm going to go with this low and go with that low and put another little support range in here. That one looks pretty decent. Maybe it should be a little higher for the bottom. Yep, I think that's it. Bottom, close, very close, very close. Highs, a couple of highs. But okay, so down to around 590, then I'm back up again. Cattle, nice rally, still inside this big pennant. Did come up to the resistance almost exactly on the rally high today, but where the big pattern here is this major bear trend line for the top of the pennant, major bull trend line for the bottom of the pennant. It's a pretty darn big formation. It's 6-9 months in size. That's pretty big for a pennant. Waiting for some other signals. Period. Hogs, we sold the high day, got short ER1s. April 10th, the minimum downside objective has been fulfilled. It surpassed it by a little bit, bouncing off of support last week. And now we're starting to see a little bit of strength the last couple of days. Not anything particularly great. No signals. We could have, I can't be very adamant about this, bottomed out last week, Wednesday, Thursday, and starting to come up Friday. And today, kind of a nothing, down just a little. Friendly, need more confidence. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Talk to you Wednesday, a week from this Wednesday. Thank you very much. Profitable trading to you.